Are you sick of where Holly Weird is headed? Do you prefer movies with actual stories and characters instead of political axe grinding?
The hatred and the division and blah, 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 and I don't want to see it anymore.
Well, then help support a group of filmmakers who stay true to free speech no matter what.
You have the right to say whatever the you want.
Not So Sane Entertainment has been a proud sponsor of Redonkulas.com for years, and they will never apologize for anything.
Welfare is bullshit.
Because if this is art, this is a masterpiece.
Winning no.
Gain access to every film in their catalog at notsosane.com today and use the coupon code POP2020 to get 10% off. Links are in the description.
Don't do that. Don't.
What's going on, you bankrupt OnlyFans subscribers? Terrence Popp here, Redonkulas.com. Good Pop showed up today because I have, let's face it, good news for you ladies and germs out there. Apparently, you can friend zone somebody and still have them remain your friend. Right? Oh no, fuck no.
I friend zoned a guy and we actually stayed friends.
All I really have to say to that is, yeah, right. And you ladies wonder why men just don't understand women. Space Ghost. Gentlemen, I'm just gonna tell you this right now. Don't even try to do it because it is a fool's game. Because women understand women and they fucking hate each other. Yeah. Today's women think they can keep dudes on the back burner for years at a time. All the while, their vacuumed out baby cookers are processing so much DNA, it is rewriting their genetic code.
And after they smash into the wall with 5 broken engagement rings, 4 abortions, 3 STIs, 2 baby daddies,
and a partridge in a pear tree. They think they can turn up the heat on that back burner and turn these dudes into the main course. And gentlemen, if you let them do this to you, you deserve to be eaten alive. A dude hangs out in the friend zone for one of 2 reasons. Reason number 1, he is full-blown cuck. He is a simp in the truest sense of that acronym. Sucker idolizing mediocre pussy. Second reason, my favorite, he's playing some 34D chess, if you know what I mean. In the short term, he will be friend farming, and I will explain what that term means. He agrees to platonic group meets so he can sow his wild oats and plow her friends. Eventually, this dude knows that once this woman has had 500 miles of Mr. Right run through her, and I made a whole episode about it, links in the description. She's gonna turn 30 and her phone will mysteriously stop ringing. Then all of a sudden, she's gonna get a hankering for some simp sausage to go with her unfertilized eggs. Screen 5. Those dudes, if they're smart, will smash it a few times and then pull out the trump card.
I want you to know that I had a really amazing time the other night. But we've been friends for so long, and I don't want to jeopardize this relationship that we've spent so long cultivating, so I really think this is as far as it can go.
In dating and in life, one thing is for sure, rejection is never fun, and being rejected by a friend can be especially painful.
Oh boy. Do you feel that coming on?
Yeah, I do.
I'm getting spun up. Here comes the rant. First of all, I agree with that statement 100%. But considering you're the author of another stunning and brave article called
I get bored of guys so quickly that I'm scared I'll never truly love someone.
I think it's fair to say, like all the other women in the West, you're the one doing the rejecting. Imagine experiencing this painful rejection every single time you approach the opposite sex. How many times would you put up with that before you said fuck it and quit caring? That is just a taste of what it's like to be a typical dude in today's sexual marketplace. But feminists convince women that men have it easy.
Men can go around and bang whoever they want without consequences. They get to enjoy casual sex. We're not gonna stop harping until women can too.
Ladies, I hate to burst your spinster bubble, and I made a whole episode about it. Links in the description. But the exact opposite is true. Women are the only ones that can bang without consequences. Women are the only ones who get to decide if the baby is born or killed. Women take a controlling interest in a man's life every time they spread their legs.
And in the age of social media, women can gobble up all the shallow validation they want.
As a result, you got a bunch of fat fours walking around thinking they're entitled to 9s and 10s, leaving most of the good dudes out there completely high and dry. These morons disregard 86% of the dating pool. Then they bitch about men creating sex robots to fill the void, if you know what I mean, and I made a whole episode about it, links in the description. However, at $10,000 a pop, no pun intended, most dudes walking around can't afford that shit, I'm just saying. So they think the only option they have left to them is the online girlfriend experience, if you know what I mean. And that is where these dudes throw away their life savings to worthless thoughts like this.
She's a whore, yes a whore, alas admit them more.
But their controlling interest in our company starts to tank after 30.
It's all fun and games when you got more balls flying at your face than a referee at a tennis tournament for blind kids. But sooner or later, the game is over. The audience goes home to find something and someone better to do.
However, one of my guy friends and I did get through this awkward experience, and after I friend-zoned him, we got closer than ever.
Bullshit! I have to ask the simple question. How many of your frenemies did he bang, huh? Screen 5. Any dude with the smallest fraction of game can spot a woman's frenemy from a mile away. Hey, I hate to be that guy, but is something wrong between you and Alice?
Yeah, things have been kind of rough lately.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want to talk about it over drinks, a burger, or perhaps a footlong?
Yeah, that would be nice, and maybe after you can massage my tonsils.
That would be stupendous. Now, dudes, you're laughing out there, but it happens. I've done it myself.
Me too.
I know, screen 5.
You know, up until the coronavirus, the millennial generation was the largest pandemic the world had ever seen. And the list of simp tums is longer than a walk to Mordor. If you have a useless college degree, live at home in your 30s, believe all women, always have an excuse for your failures, and think Bernie Sanders actually has good ideas, I got bad news for you. You've caught the stupid, and it's probably terminal. Weh? Luckily, there's a cure. Pick up How Not to Become a Millennial, a salvation guide for Generation Z, and vaccinate yourself against the soy. A link is in the description.
Number 1, I tried to set him up with a friend.
But you neglected to mention the fact if he took you up on it, at least openly, you wouldn't still be friends.
I initially met him briefly at an event and thought he was perfect for one of my girlfriends. I kept trying to organize group hangouts so the two of them could hit it off. I'm a die-hard matchmaker. I couldn't help it. Unfortunately, my friend was not interested, and more often than not, it would end up just being me and the guy hanging out together.
That was by design. Perhaps he was giving you the illusion of loyalty.
Number 2, our friendship was fast-tracked.
Sorry, Pop here. I'm just asking for a friend. What the hell does that mean?
The more I got to know him, the more I liked him. He was intelligent, sensitive, thoughtful, and easygoing, and I loved spending time with him.
So what you're trying to say here is he's Mr. Right, but not Mr. Right now. And because you have all the time in the world, right? Meh. You throw him back into the pool with all of your piranha friends, giving him time to become a master fisherman.
And while you're spending the next decade and a half buttering up every corn on the cob in a 20-mile radius, he'll be plowing through your field of friends. And if things get out of control, that's when he'll execute a controlled burn to keep those crops in line, if you know what I mean.
And after this whole roller coaster comes sliding into the station, you're gonna jump off and expect him to be there on his knee with a ring and a smile. But that's not gonna happen, baby. And even if it did, when you lock some lips, you're gonna taste 36 other women. Screen 5.
Why does your mouth taste like fish and bad decisions?
Well, actually, that was your friend Mary.
We opened up to each other about tough subjects pretty early on and would stay up late just talking. Looking back, I definitely see how he would have thought this was on the road to romance, but I just thought I had found an amazing new friend.
That means I win. I get
Number 3, your personal relationship coach. Sponsored.
Fuck off! But if advice is what you want, you came to the right place. So go to redonkulas.com/donate and help me throw some life jackets into this stinky ass gene pool.
Number 4, I realized our friendship was definitely not platonic, at least on his side.
No fucking shit!
It started out slow, hugs that lingered a little too long, touching my arm more than necessary, or leaning in close when we were watching a movie.
But, of course, this caught you by surprise because you were just there to make a friend, right? Wah.
I think I can smell shite.
At first I was flattered. I was just getting over a breakup and the flirting and attention definitely made me feel good. But when we went on what turned out to be a date, I realized that this was more than just a flirtationship for him, and I did not feel the same way.
What she fails to mention here is how long she entertained this flirtationship for the sole purpose of extracting attention and resources.
Number 5, he finally confessed his feelings.
So after you realized that this was more than a flirtationship, you still didn't say anything. I gotta ask, how many hundreds or thousands of dollars did he dump on presents, dinners, and entertainment before you dropped the guillotine?
How dare you?
I tried to put off this conversation for as long as possible because I hate confrontation.
African American gentlemen, please. It's not because you hate confrontation. You're just an attention whore who likes spending other people's money.
The conversation was awkward and slightly painful, and I had to explain that I didn't feel anything but friendship for him.
Yet, when you smash through that wall, all of a sudden that guy's gonna look very tempting. He'll be that reserve parachute, you know, the one that you pull after the main one collapses? But by the time you're smart enough to realize all of that, it'll be too late.
I've rejected guys before, but never someone I cared so much about, and it sucked.
Men get rejected so much that we actually have to remind ourselves to be upset when it happens. Why is that? 5 minutes of pretending will help you stave off hours of fighting and possibly a criminal charge.
Maybe if I don't blink, my eyes will tear up.
Women feel entitled to your hurt feelings, gentlemen, because then they can actually fool themselves into believing that someone actually cared. It's just like pickup artists pumping themselves up by the number of women they pumped full of seed. It's just as meaningless, stupid, and self-defeating. In fact, you put yourself at risk over and over again for cheap thrills. Why? If that's all you want, well, take up skydiving or scuba diving or go to the goddamn amusement park. At least roller coasters have seatbelts and a safety bar, and you don't walk off the ride with a bad case of herpetogonosyphilis.
Number 6, I thought it was over between us.
Fuck no, I would never give up the pussy cow.
After that conversation, I immediately thought we'd never speak again. I had tried my best to be kind but firm, but...
Don't take away my butts, bitch.
I could tell he was really hurt.
Yeah. It's not like men have ever faked an emotional connection to get pussy or anything. I'm just saying. It's not like women have flooded the internet with articles bitching about exactly that.
She wants something from me. Ever since the job, she assumes we've taken it to the next level.
We basically went from hanging out almost every day to not speaking for a month.
And you expect us to believe that you thought that this was strictly platonic? Baby, you are aware that men just don't throw away that kind of time for nothing, right?
And I figured it was the end of our friendship.
It was, but it was the beginning of something that is far more beautiful. A stampede of poon that extends all the way to the horizon. Because you are strong, independent women who can have casual sex just like men, right? Wham.
Old saying goes, you can judge a person by the company they keep. Well, if this chick is a bona fide banana gobbler and her friends keep her around...
You know what I call that, right? Ripe, low-hanging fruit.
Talking about your breasts.
And women love to bitch about this, but it's completely their fault.
When you used second-wave feminism to turn the sexual market into a swap meet, you dug your own grave. And you're still doubling down on stupid despite the undeniable evidence that your entire ideology is a complete failure built on a foundation of lies, antidepressants, and the mummified remains of 4 generations of crazy cat ladies. Wah!
In the midst of a culture war that's bringing out the ridiculous in everyone, it's never been more important to protect your data. Sandman, the patron saint of MGTOW dreams, wants you to know the best way to do that is with the Brave browser. It's free, blocks online advertising, and protects your data from the evil prigs in Silicon Valley. You only see ads if you want to, and you get cryptocurrency for your attention. Download Brave by clicking on the link in the description.
Number 7, I realized I really missed him.
Nope, you just realized that alpha fucks are only good for a laugh and a poke. You need the beta bucks on the back end.
I knew he needed some space to heal, and I tried to be respectful of that. But after a while, I realized he wasn't just some guy I hung out with. He had made a space for himself in my life, and I felt like there was a hole in my days when he wasn't there anymore.
You wouldn't have that hole if you just let him fuck it. Screen 5.
Number 8, I approached him about being friends again.
This ought to be good. Let us drink.
I realized that it would be up to me to see if there was any chance of resurrecting our friendship. After over a month of radio silence, I reached out to see if he wanted to grab lunch sometime. I was super nervous because the last time we'd seen each other, he was crying.
Oh, you like me? You really like me, huh? Space Ghost.
Luckily, he seemed glad to see me, and before long we were catching up like nothing had ever happened.
I'm just wondering how many of your hot friends helped him through this difficult time. Send me their numbers.
Number 9, I made it absolutely clear we would only be friends.
Thus, sanctifying the guilt-free pass, winning.
This is something I verbally established at the very beginning of our lunch, and he agreed that he was fine with it.
Right.
I also started being more careful about how affectionate I was around him. No casual touches, no sprawling over his lap on the couch.
Oh, sprawling over his lap on the couch, huh? Tease much? This means you either sat in his lap or put your head in it. You know what's in his lap, don't you? Just asking for a friend. Make no mistake, ladies. You put any orifice by the purple-headed yogurt spitter. You're tempting fate, and you're doing it on purpose.
For this woman to pretend she wasn't cognizant of her actions is dishonest at best, manipulative and narcissistic at worst. Just to recap, she engaged in flirtatious behavior with a dude she just met, spent virtually every day with him, vampirized his resources and attention, initiated physical contact with his bathing suit area, and then rejected his advances while attempting to pawn him off on her friends. And she thinks it's all good.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
I wasn't sure exactly how over me he was, and I didn't want to send any mixed signals.
So you just figured letting him fuck your friends was safer. Because he would never do that, right? Because he's different. He loves me. Space Ghost.
Number 10, now we're closer than ever.
Bullshit!
This is gonna blow up in your face spectacularly. And not in the way you're used to, so grab a towel and pray that his last meal wasn't asparagus.
In fact, as a betting man, I would say that you're slowly reintegrating some of those bad habits. But only when you hear about other women and you're terrified that he will leave and be actually happy. Any dude that has spent any time in the friend zone knows I am right. They don't actually want you, but they don't want to lose you either. They will lie like a cheap rug in Pakistan and tell you that they want you to find true happiness. But at the end of the day, these women feel that you are their property. You're the consolation prize when the cock carnival shuts down. They look to you for a cheap and easy supply of attention and resources. in between bedroom shagnanigans with the men that they really want. And if these men are in danger of finding real love, I know that's an oxymoron, these women swoop in like witches and they sabotage the whole goddamn thing faster than you can say game over. This is narcissistic bullshit! And ladies, don't you dare deny it. But here's the deal, though.
It sounded like you just said dildo.
I did not. Here's the dildo, dudes. If you know this up front, you can use it to your advantage. Because number one, if you smash half her friends and you're still single when she hits the wall, you can then smash her and then bail, which stands for bang and immediately leave. Screen 5. Or number two, sooner or later, these serial bad decision makers will ask you for money. And that is when you take your pussy payments up front. Winning. I don't know if you know this, gentlemen, but you will never in your entire life loan women money. It's a gift, you just don't know it yet. We've all done it. Shut up, you did it too.
And if you're not taking those loan payments in 6 to 8 inch installments, if you know what I mean, you're doing it wrong.
There was definitely an awkward period where we were a little cautious of how we interacted with each other. Luckily, we both have a sense of humor and it helped us get over that stage quickly. Getting through that rocky period really helped solidify our friendship. We got to see how the other person dealt with conflict so we could be a lot more real with each other. Now we tell each other everything!
Yep, of course you do.
From crushes to TMI medical issues, and I'm so glad to have him back as a friend.
Don't you mean STI medical issues? Screen 5.
Number 11, I'm more aware of how my actions impact others.
Well, I suppose I should not be surprised. You've been lying your ass off for this entire article, and you saved the best one for last. Until 5 years from now when you tell a bigger one, it's your baby!
After a close friendship almost turned to disaster, I realized that sometimes harmless flirting can definitely send the wrong signals. I never want to go through that again, so from now on I'll save my flirting for the boys I'm actually into.
And that list is shrinking by the day, along with all of the texts and phone calls you're getting. The only thing's getting bigger is your ass cats and debt. Are we done?
Yes!
Thank God, I just lost 30 IQ points on this article. It really is embarrassing the lengths that some women will go to justify bad behavior. This woman desperately wants men to think that being in the friend zone is some kind of desirable place that they want to wind up in. And I know I put a positive spin on it myself, but let's be honest, I'm not most dudes. In all likelihood, the dude that she's stringing along is the simpiest simp who ever simped.
And this soy boy dies a little more inside. Where? Every time she regales him with her sausage stories, just so she can keep him around to leech attention and resources, and he can stay close enough to her to fool himself into thinking there will be enough left of her soul at the finish line to actually call it a prize.
And so I hope we all learned something here from this disaster piece of an article. I learned a lot. I actually learned it takes 2 menageries to get through one of these bold articles. It almost makes me miss Amy Horton. Almost.
Nope, never mind.
Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Go away, Space Ghost. You know, in the old days, women would not let it get to the starting line. You'd be shut down before that. The starting pistol, still in the holster. And all the runners, they're still whacking off in the shower before the race. Because back then, women respected the value of men and they had feminine dignity. Now they're just a bunch of whores and us men, we're nothing but walking slot machines that cough up nothing but money and sperm. Make sure you massage the crank before you pull it and rub the balls for luck, huh? Screen 5.